There is a moment in every language learner's life when something strange happens. You know many English words, you understand many sentences, you can even read articles and watch videos. But when it is time to speak, your mind freezes. You start a sentence, then you stop. You wonder, should I say I did or I have done? And suddenly the conversation moves on without you. You stay quiet. Not because you are not intelligent, but because one small part of English feels like a locked door. That door is called the present perfect, and today we are going to unlock it, because the truth is simple. The present perfect is not just a grammar rule, it is a way to connect your past with your present life. And when you understand this connection, your English will stop sounding like a textbook and start sounding like a real conversation. The real struggle with the present perfect is not memory, it is confusion. Many learners study the rule again and again. They read sentences like, I have finished my work. She has visited London. We have learned English. They understand the structure, have or has plus past participle. But when they speak, something still feels wrong. Because real conversations move fast. People do not stop to think about grammar charts. They speak from instinct. And that instinct only comes when you understand the feeling behind the tense. Many learners feel embarrassed when they make mistakes. Maybe you have felt this too. Someone asks you a simple question, have you eaten? You want to answer, but you pause. Your mind searches for the correct form. In that moment, you feel small. You feel like your English is not good enough. But here's the truth. Every confident English speaker once stood exactly where you stand now. The difference is not talent. The difference is understanding. Let me tell you a story. A young man named Amir wanted to improve his English. He worked in a small office where many international clients visited. Every day he heard English conversations around him. At first, he stayed silent, but one day a client asked him a simple question, have you worked here long? Amir froze. He knew the words, he knew the grammar, but he did not understand the moment. So he answered slowly, yes, I worked here 3 years. The client smiled politely, but Amir knew something was wrong. That night, he went home and opened his grammar book. He read the rule again. Present perfect connects the past to the present. He read it again and again, but something still did not click. Weeks passed. Then, one evening, he heard 2 colleagues talking. One said, I have worked here for 5 years. The other said, really, I have only worked here for 6 months. Suddenly, Amir understood something important. They were not just talking about the past. They were talking about their life until now. That moment changed everything. He stopped thinking about grammar. He started thinking about connection, past meeting the present. From that day, his English began to flow. This is the shift you need. The present perfect is not about rules, it is about relevance. It answers one simple question, does the past still matter now? If the answer is yes, the present perfect appears. If the answer is no, the past simple appears. This idea is powerful because conversations are always about what matters now. People ask about experiences. They ask about results. They ask about things that shape the present moment. When someone says, have you seen this movie? They are asking about your experience in life until today. When someone says, I have finished my work, they are talking about the result now. The work is done. This is the heartbeat of the present perfect, past action with present meaning. The first lesson begins with awareness. Many learners try to speak English by translating from their native language, but languages do not always think the same way. The present perfect lives in the space between time and experience. Imagine someone asks you, have you ever traveled alone? This question is not about a specific day, it's about your life experience. Maybe it happened 5 years ago, maybe it happened last year. The exact time doesn't matter, the experience matters. When you answer, you say, yes, I have traveled alone. In that moment, you are not telling a story yet. You are simply opening the door to your experience. When you hear words like ever, never, already, or yet, your mind should prepare for the present perfect. These words live in the world of life experience. Practice speaking about your experiences. Say sentences like, I have tried many foods. I have learned new skills. I have faced difficult days. Every sentence connects your past to who you are today. The second lesson is about results. Real conversations often care about what has changed. Imagine your friend asks, why are you smiling? You answer, I have passed my exam. The focus is not the exam day. The focus is the result. You passed. Your life has changed. Or imagine someone says, the floor is wet. Another person replies, I have cleaned the room. Again, the action happened before, but the result is visible now. This is why the present perfect is powerful in conversation. It tells people what has happened and why it matters now. Start noticing results around you. Your phone battery is full. You can say, I have charged my phone. Your work is complete. You can say, I have finished the project. The more you speak about results, the more natural the present perfect will feel. The third lesson is about time that continues. Sometimes the present perfect is used when something started in the past and still continues today. This is very common in conversation. Someone might ask, how long have you studied English? You answer, I have studied English for 3 years. This sentence carries quiet strength. It tells a story of effort, 3 years of learning, 3 years of progress, and the journey is still alive. This is why we often hear words like for and since with the present perfect. For 2 hours, for many years, since Monday, since childhood. These words stretch time from the past into the present moment. Speak about your ongoing journey. Say sentences like, I have lived in this city for many years. I have practiced English every day. I have worked hard to improve my skills. Every sentence connects your past to who you are today. And this is where something deeper begins to happen. You stop seeing grammar as a problem. You start seeing it as a voice that tells your story. You are no longer the person who is afraid to speak. You are becoming the person who shares experiences, the person who explains results, the person who talks about their journey. Language is not only about words, it is about identity. Every sentence you speak shapes the way the world sees you, and more importantly, the way you see yourself. You are not weak because you hesitate. You are learning. You are training your mind. You are building a new voice. A voice that connects your past efforts with your present confidence. Every time you say, I have learned something new, you are telling the truth about your growth. Every time you say, I have improved, you are honoring your progress, and progress is what creates mastery. Think back to the moment we talked about in the beginning, that moment when you freeze during a conversation, when you wonder if you should say, I did or I have done. Now you know the answer is not hidden in a complicated rule. It is hidden in a simple question. Does the past matter now? If the experience shapes the present perfect appears. If the action is simply history, the past simple takes its place.